What's happening, you savages? It's Tuesday, the 17th of October. The check-in is brought to you by, come on, Manscaped. Listen, they've leveled up, and so should you. They launched the 5th generation performance package, including the all-new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. Listen, I've already got mine plugged in. I haven't done the honors yet. But the 5.0 features 2 interchangeable blade heads with 3 length-setting combs, waterproofing. You get any look anywhere. You can design stuff. It's all over. That's it. You can have a party in that shower. It's waterproof. Now, the performance package 5.0 also features the new Weed Whacker 2.0 ear and nose hair trimmer and the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, which is fucking voila. You know what I'm saying? It's tremendous in the summer. You'll be rocking worlds in the winter. The Crop Soother Toner and 2 free mystery gifts. So do me a favor. Uncle Joey's giving you 20% off and free shipping with code Joey, Joey, at manscaped.com. Again, that's 20% off and free shipping with code Joey at manscaped.com. Your balls have been through enough. Trust me, I looked at mine the other day. What a nightmare. You thought Vietnam looked bad. It's time to go ultra with Manscaped. Support the show and get 20% off and free shipping when you use code Joey. And now that you're all trimmed up and ready to go, Uncle Joey's going to drop it on you with Blue Chew. Listen, you never know when you're going to meet that special someone. If you want to make sure you have all the confidence in bed at the drop of a hat, then you need Blue Chew. Listen, it's the season to be jolly. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers ED medicine straight to your door with the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, all that stuff, but at a fraction of the cost, and you save money while having an awesome sex life. And like they said, they deliver right to your door. You don't need to be creeping while they're sleeping. You can take Blue Chew at any time of the day and night. No matter when you need that extra boost, Blue Chew has you covered. Listen, I'm an old guy. From time to time, I get urges. I have desires. I pop a Blue Chew. It's all over but the shopping. Blue Chew, excuse me, Blue Chew is done entirely online, so you get to skip the doctor's offices, the awkward conversations, and waiting at the pharmacy. It's even shipped in a totally discreet package, so you can stock up without worrying about the nosy neighbors or the mailman. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Blue Chew wants to help you have a real party for the holidays. You know what I'm talking about? Discover your options at bluechew.com. Chew it and then do it, Jack. We got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew for free. Joey, why you busting my chops on a Tuesday? Free, cocksuckers. Just pay $5 shipping. That's bluechew.com, promo code Joey to receive your first month free. Visit bluechew.com for more details. All right, without further ado, let's get Lee Syatt on the phone.
Turn off your TVs, run for your lives. It's over. They didn't put you on this planet just to give up. If Uncle Joey could do it, I could rule the world. That's what you got to be thinking. Welcome back to
Boom! What up? Tuesday.
How's it going, buddy?
You know, looking good, feeling good. I smell like a fucking billy goat, but I took a shower before this. I took a little nappy nunu. I don't know if I was high or tired. I don't know.
How many showers are you taking now?
Brother. What's up with you? What?
I'm doing great. How many showers are you taking now? Because you would always come and shower for the podcast.
2, maybe 3. Like today, I really took 3 because I went to jiu-jitsu. So I took a shower.
And you do the whole thing?
What?
You do the whole thing every time?
Yeah, you got to wash your hair behind you. I'm a filthy dude, bro. You know, I got fucking a yeast infection in my ear. You know, I got problems, dog. I had to get medication. I had to put some fucking cream in my ear. You're fucking 60. I don't know. I'm just trying my best to keep it together. I got a nice hairdo. She put a little fucking dead ink in there, a
I'm
little
jealous.
split ink. It's keeping together. I got like 13 hairs. I drink my collagen every fucking day.
What do
The
you drink?
the milk that comes out of your titties when you first have a child. The collagen, whatever the fuck it's
Are you saying collagen?
no, it's not collagen. Look it up. It's called Armra. ARMRA.
Okay, I didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah. Look it up. What do you think you're dealing with? Joey Bananas? Why are you bothering me, Lee?
I don't know. I'm sorry. How was your weekend?
Very good. That's it right there. What's it say? I can't read without my glass. What's it called? What is it
I can't
called?
read that.
What do you mean you can't read it? Oh, colostrum.
Colostrum?
Colostrum. Yeah.
And that helps with hair? Why didn't I know about that?
It's supposed to fill your hair. Yeah, it does help my hair, but if the hair on my kneecaps, the hair on my arms, the hair under my armpits, I'm everywhere where I don't fucking need hair. In my nose, my eyebrows. I gotta trim my eyebrows every
Oh,
4
yeah.
days. Like the Wolfman's nephew. Every 4 days, I gotta ask my wife because you gotta put glasses on and try to trim your eyebrows. Fucking Houdini can't do that one. You know. So you got to have a partner, or you better pay the barber an extra $10.
Oh, I have to trim my ears and my nose, but I've never had to trim my eyebrows yet.
Oh, it's coming, cocksucker. It's coming.
Ah,
And you don't even see it till you go to Vegas. Like you don't even see nothing until you go to a different mirror. You ever notice that? You go to a different mirror, that motherfucker never lies to you. Your mirror at home becomes your psychological friend. Think about this shit. Next time you go on vacation, at home, you don't see a lot of stuff because you're so used to your image in that particular mirror. You comb your hair, you brush your teeth, you shave, whatever, right? But then you go to a hotel in Vegas, you come out of the shower and there's a mirror right there. And that's the first time you look at yourself nude in years. That's a fucking confidence burner right there. And then you go to shave or brush your teeth after the shower. Forget about it. You see hairs, no, you see that one long fucking strand of hair, and then you want to shoot yourself because you got no nose trimmer and you got 2 shows the rest of the weekend. It's a fucking nightmare, man.
I fucked up. I had to take an Uber in Columbus because I try to shave my head before shows,
And the thing broke,
and it died halfway through.
and you look
So I
like
was gonna
fucking
have
Robert De Niro and Taxi Driver for a minute there. You look like the chubby guy in the Road Warrior, the Lord Humongous.
I looked fucked up, and I had to ride in an Uber.
I lived with you for 8 years. I know exactly what you look
I
like.
never had a half a
Every
head
day you
unshaved.
come back there. I don't know if you, dog. I feel bad sometimes. I don't even know if you can wipe your ass correctly because
I
you can't reach back there. You got like bad shoulders. You always leave like a little patch back there, like a little afro.
uh, when I was really fat, I couldn't wipe like that. It wasn't good. Thank God for the tushy.
No, I'm sure you could wipe. It's a fucking joke, Lee.
I know, but I'm telling you the truth. But no, I would like you kept saying I would have strips, and I would check, and sometimes I would, but most of the time I wouldn't. I always miss a spot.
Dog, I miss a
You don't
spot.
know.
When I shave, I don't use a mirror in the shower. I just dope it up with shaving cream and I go by sound. You know, Uncle Joey, dog. I just make the water hot. I make the pores open up. There ain't no mirror. You ever buy those fucking no fog mirrors? That's
Yeah,
for
they fog.
that's for people who take showers in cold water. That ain't for people savages like me. I go in there. I turn the knob all the way to the end. It's like I'm going to the chair.
Do
He just
you really? You keep it at the end?
I push it all the way to the end. I like my shower hot. I put the heater on. My bathroom is fucking cold in the mornings. So I got to put heater on before I go in there. I mean, the heat goes in there, but for some reason, we have a fucking sky roof in the bathroom. Why? I don't know. Who would sit in the fucking shower looking out the window like a fucking idiot? It's like,
You don't do that?
huh?
You don't look out the window?
No, when I go in the shower, I'm focused on washing and killing the germs. And, I thank God for giving me another day. And I'm grateful for you and Joe and, Mike and all the people I deal with. That's what I do in the morning. I get my head together. Sometimes I get too stoned and I got to turn the water a little cold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the shower can be scary when you're high. That's great. Like, but where do you keep the heater? Like heating a heater and like water from the
I
shower
put in the
doesn't sound.
shower. I just play fucking Fear Factor. It's under the sink, you fuck.
That's what I was worried about.
In the fucking shower with me and take my chances.
Oh,
Either I die
jeez,
or I come out glowing in the dark.
that's fucked up. Oh my god, I had a pretty good weekend. I got to do 2 shows on Saturday,
One at
which
5 in
was
the afternoon, which
one
I'm
at
very
5,
proud
which
of.
was
Listen, dog, I didn't want to say nothing and fucking burn your parade. Dracula don't come out until the sun comes out. Comics don't go on stage till the sun comes out. All right.
it was an interesting time, but it's a fun room. Like the guy who runs it's really cool. Um, but it was 5 o'clock was the
Who goes
earliest
to
I've
a
ever
comedy
done.
show 5? They got to be home by 7:30. What the fuck? So they
It
go
was
to
the start of
by
the night.
9. Those 5 o'clock people got to be church going people. So
They
in
were
your mind,
you know what? They were very nice. And
no,
but
they're
I
very
have
nice. But you're very nice also. Bring me with you one time. And let me come out there and go, look at you 5 o'clock maggots. You got to be home by 7:30 to catch 7 a.m. to prove to these people that you're a good fucking Christian. Get the fuck out of here. Have a cocktail. Tell the babysitter to stay home. You're giving her the extra 50. You're going to come up and dress home like Batman. Whatever the fuck you want to do. That's got to be rough going to comedy at 5 in the afternoon. I hate it. I don't even like going on stage at 7 and the sun is out.
yeah, it's different.
Bothers the fuck out of me. And even though you're inside a dark place, I still know it's fucking light outside. People,
Sometimes you're not there's windows.
you can't
Have you
hit
ever
no
been in a
man
club with
with a stick.
windows?
I want to do comedy when it's dark out and you can get mugged. That's when I want to do comedy. When half of you are in there because you're fucking petrified of the streets, you're gonna come in there with Uncle Joey and the security at the comedy club so nobody bothers you. I swear to God, these edibles, I must have had some mushroom juice left over in my system from the weekend, and these edibles set these motherfuckers off. I'm seeing things, I'm hearing things.
What are you seeing?
2 of yous with a little guy behind you with a stick. I don't know what I'm seeing. I'm seeing things. You know what I'm saying? You ever see things, but you don't tell nobody? I got the balls to tell people I'm seeing things. All right. I
Oh my
advise you
god.
leave now or dial 911.
Jesus Christ.
How was your
Uh
comedy? What did you learn? What did you not learn? You had the 5 o'clock show. You did well. You called, you checked in, and then you
yeah,
went over there and destroyed the 8 o'clock.
it
What,
was a fun night. I got to
how many
feature
minutes
unexpectedly.
Saturday?
The first show I did 10 and the second show I did 20.
Good for you, Lee.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna do like a 5-minute set, and it's a really cool place in Foxborough. It's like for like a booker who has a lot of clubs, and it's I got it a day before, which is like at my level, no one calls me 2 weeks, but like only a couple people. Usually it's like, can you do something tomorrow? So that was exciting, and it was a fun night. And I thank you. Like there was like 5 people between both shows that came out from the podcast, so that was very cool. It was a lot of fun.
Listen, people love to see you in the beginning so they could say, I knew you back when. From my
Right, yeah.
conversations with you, I was thinking about this the other night after I spoke to you on Saturday night. My conversations with you really enlightened me to the fact that how much in love you are with comedy.
Oh, yeah.
We fucked around and we make tapes when we call and shit, but we have to be really high on the same night to make those funny fucking calls. But I've noticed that 80% of our calls now are basically focused on comedy. And it's really inspiring to see. And it makes me believe what I've always believed about comics starting out. That the best education you get is in your backyard and working outward. Like you stay and then you spread. It's like COVID when the fucking guy went skiing and he landed in Jersey and he fucked up that Bergen County town. Same thing. It's just really weird to see that when I lived in LA along with you, we met so many people that went out there in their second year, and it's ballsy. It's ballsy as shit. But like I don't know. To get back to the conversation, it's just really impressive to see how much you're into it because you and I both know we ran into a lot of people that I love doing comedy. I want to do this and I want to do that. And a week later, you know, they're not doing nothing. They're not
Right.
doing nothing. 2 weeks later, we'd see them and they're not doing what they told us they were going to do. And we talk about it like, wow, so it's really nice to see a guy that works as hard as you.
I appreciate it, but I learned a lot. Like when I met you, I didn't want to be on the podcast. Like we didn't fight about it, but you're like, no, I was just a fan of stand up and like getting to meet all the comics that I got to meet on the church. I got to be in the room with the top comedians of like the last 20 years. And I've always liked going to shows. I've just learned so much with that time we had in LA that I don't want to be someone who someone goes to see and they say, "Oh, he was just with Joey. He wasn't that funny." Like I really like 'cause people give me shit and that's fine, but I want to actually be a good comic. That's that's my goal. Like someone like that people not respect. I don't like that word, but like acknowledge like, hey, he's at least doing comedy. Like he's actually doing it.
Everybody always thinks that people can help you. Like I'm just going to jump in and make a call to Warner Brothers and tell them that I lived through that also. You know, with the Longest Yard and Spider Man, it was always this guy called for you. Nobody called. I went in a room with 20 gorillas and audition. If somebody
Right.
did call, which nobody ever did, it would just be my support to go, hey, he's a good actor and a good guy or whatever the fuck. But nobody ever did that. I earned those roles. I
Oh yeah,
earned
you
toughest roles. So, and I always wanted to prove myself also. You got to prove yourself and people got to see it. Your attitude has to be contagious when you're a comic. These comics go home and they fucking talk shit and they get bitter, like they get bitter. No, you got to be involved. You got to and that's what you're doing. You got to be able to talk to Bill Burr and you got to be able to talk to Fingerless Joe, who does the open mic on Tuesday nights, who's fucking a great writer, but he's missing a finger on stage and he's ashamed of it or whatever. You're going to run into all those people. But at the end of the day, 20 years later, I cherish all those fucking things. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm done with those memories. Like I can't tell you year by year, but I can tell you that something inspired me along the way. And just got to put great people around you, a couple open micers that are good people, and you create a little fucking community in Boston. And you don't need to go to LA. You're getting
right.
more from what you're learning in that area than what you would get from rushing to Los Angeles with your nose wide open.
And there's something that's like really been nice. 'Cause, like people can complain about a lot of shit, but something that has been very nice about comedians has been like how helpful other because like there's been so many comics who will put in a good word for me somewhere or ask me to be on their show, and it's just like you would think there'd be a lot more hate, and I'm sure there's a lot of hate, and I'm sure I get because this. I just want to say one quick thing. I am aware that like totally get shows that at my level, at like your level, I wouldn't have got or shouldn't like because I do get a little bit of a bump up in a lot of scenarios. So like that's part of the reason why I work hard. I just wanted like people because
You
people are like he's
understand? Your resume has the Comedy Store in Hollywood on it, has the Comedy Store in La Jolla,
that's great.
Zany's on it. You got, I don't
I
know how
got
many you have on
the
it.
Improv. I got the
Yeah,
Wilbur. You brought me to the Wilbur. That's
yeah.
fucking Broadway, but like the Wilbur is the
Threw you out into Wilbur, high as fuck, balls of steel. You went out there, you barely fucking walked out there like the penguin. I mean, and somewhere in a comic's mind, no matter what level, that takes a lot of people respect you. I I remember one show I did. There was a certain open micer. I want you to think, no names. There was a certain
I
open
know.
mic that bugged me, bugged me, bugged me. He came to the show in Vegas. I was
Mhm.
going to put him up, and he told me he didn't want to go up anymore. Like he just saw it for what it was, and he was packing up and going home or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how I felt about him after that. Now he's doing stand up. I think. I hope. But at that time, I, you have the opportunity of a lifetime. Who cares if you're not ready? Who gives a fuck? That's a lesson for you. That's a lesson for you. You know, I mean, I wasn't fortunate enough for somebody to take me to an arena in the beginning or a theater. I didn't do a theater till I moved to LA, maybe, and I did some rooms with Paul Rodriguez up in North, and they were like, 1,000 seat theaters. I was getting $500, and I would do like 3 theaters in a weekend with him. And I always bombed in those days.
You
I
didn't do
think
well at theaters?
I remember the one weekend we did a Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday. Friday ate a bag of dicks, Saturday ate a bag of dicks, but Sunday I went out there and destroyed the room. Some guy fucking knocked on my door and wanted to do blow with me and gave me a rock to take to go. It was insane. It was insane. Like I bombed for 2 nights, but then the third night, it was like a fucking explosion. They went for the material and, you know, things happen.
Do you
Yeah.
remember? I mean, I don't know if you remember this, but like, did you do anything different? Like, do you remember changing up like your delivery or?
I remember just being fucking angry that you bombed 2 nights in a row in front of a good booker and in front of a fucking headliner. He didn't watch my shows. It didn't matter, but still, you're there. Somebody believed
Yeah.
you enough to be there. Listen, at the time I was doing spots at the store. I was doing, spots at the Improv, at the Laugh Factory, and he called me one night and goes, "Do you want to go up there?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I'll never forget, like that Sunday, I just went off. I didn't care where the pieces fall. I was already 0-2. I might as well go down swinging. I wasn't going to get shot down in flames and go down 0-3 on a Sunday night in front of 1,000 people. So I caught
Now
the
is
timing, maybe. It could have been the timing of the theater. It could have been the lights. It could have been that I got a good night's sleep the night before. Could have been a lot of things. I think I wasn't prepared. That's number one. But it's so weird how I always think about this, and I want to cover this with you because you went from a huge market
uh-huh.
and you went backwards.
Yeah.
And some people would go, "Why don't you stay there or whatever?" But you saw how hard it was to get. I think you're getting more quality stage time here than you would over in LA right now. In LA, you'd still be going up in front of a lot of comics.
Yeah, I'm definitely quantity open mic wise, LA would be, but the quality as far as like actually having audiences
No,
and getting like because I went honestly like 2 steps back because Boston has a great scene, but it's smaller than LA. And I spent like a year plus in Worcester, and but I got better because people were really nice, and like I started to open people, and because I remember, do you remember being afraid of doing 20 minutes? 20
I'm
minutes
still
was a
afraid
hard
of
one for me to get over.
I was afraid of doing 20 minutes of Sam Tripoli shows on Tuesday nights. You're in there in front of a full house. I'll never forget this. Like, I was dear friends with the guy who gave you the time and the light and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And he would give me the light, dog. I'd just run the fuck out of there. Like, woof, 20 minutes, thank God. Yes, I have, I had a ton of anxiety about 20 minutes.
It's for some reason that one took me a while to feel like I had enough material for. And like just being up there.
Remember, you could do a quick 20 minutes or you could do a slow 20 minutes. It could be a 20 minutes that's revolved around patience and getting them into a groove, or you could just be so scared like I was 90% of the time. And I would just go out there and rush it just to get it over with, just so I get that $100 bill to go home and snort coke. I mean, just to get that 100 to buy some beers and sit with some people, whatever the fuck it was. I always rushed through my sets, and I didn't become better till I slowed them down. And me slowing them down was my confidence building.
How do you slow an audience down?
That takes years. That takes years. Because no matter what I tell you, once you go to LA, once you're ready and you go to LA, you're going to bomb a lot in the beginning because you follow so many different styles. It's not like I'm following Lee and I get to adjust to Lee's energy by Friday, which is all I give a fuck about. I'm getting the big envelope. I need to be tip top by Friday and Saturday. So I'll take a beating from Lee on Wednesday and Thursday. I'll figure him out. And by Friday, I'll know how to slip in there. And going on stage at the Comedy Store, Improv, Laugh Factory, one night you follow Dane Cook. One night you follow some Indian kid. I'm saying Indian because they're a little slow paced. They don't know the language that well. So sometimes you got to follow that. Somebody who's Russian and they speak a little slower because they have an accent. Comedy's changing. Comedy's growing. It's not just for white people anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's worldwide now. So I remember still going, where the fuck did I go that I had to follow really nice? Oh, when I did Dangerfields.
Right.
This kid was funny. He was an Indian guy. He was funny, but his gift was that he was slow paced and he kept his volume just a little lower because from watching him, I could see people leaning in to listen. And I'm like, wow, this guy had been doing comedy like 23 years. He did spots around the city. He said they wouldn't give him like the big clubs. He told me he won a contest in New York. And he had a day job. He's like some type of chemist, some Indian kid, But he was very sweet. I'm sorry I forgot his name. But I remember learning something that night. Because I went up there fast and I ate dick for the first 4 minutes until I remembered the tempo. He had sucked them in. He was so good that he had sucked them in on that slow, methodical, I bought a lottery ticket, 55, whatever, I'm not trying to be cute. I'm just trying to be honest. And it was an education. It really is a fucking education, but you're not going to get hit with that till you go to LA or you go to a good open mic where they rotate. If you got 10 good features in Boston and they all go to the same open mic every Monday night, that's good. If the guy who's running the open mics rotates you, obviously if Dane Cook walks in or somebody local from Boston that's a star and they get on stage, they close the room. But you teach everybody. I can't wait till you think you're really, really, really funny. You got a tight 50 minutes and you book yourself out as a headliner in an A room. And that's a big education. That's a tremendous education. That's completely different than you've ever seen before in your fucking life because you're not really a headliner. You're just learning how to put blocks. First, you learn how to do 10s like you're doing right now. Then you learn how to do 20s. And then you're done with that. And then you write another 20. and then you're done with that, and then you write another 20. Now you got yourself an hour, right? You call the booker and go, I got an hour. But now you go out, and yes, you're going to learn how to do those 3 20-minute bits, but you're also going to learn how to weave it. That takes about a year and a half, 2 years to learn how to weave that set together. And that's when you become a headliner.
I want to go back because you just kind of blew my mind a little bit with like following someone's energy, because I don't really. I have a few things that I start with, but I don't. I think that's sometimes why I have rough sets. Can you like talk like how do you jump in to like someone else's energy? Like, what if like they don't do well? Like, what if there is no energy? What if there is like it's just that's crazy to think about.
First of all, to learn about energies, your assignment from now on is to go out one night. I don't care who the comic is. If you have a Thursday night off, you're going to go to Laugh Boston, Providence, somewhere local, pay the small $22.50, and I want you to watch that comic. I don't give a fuck who he is. I don't give a fuck if he goes up there with a ukulele. I don't give a fuck because every comic has a different appeal.
Uh-huh.
In 45 minutes because he has a different appeal. Whether he's a comedian that is an AA comic and you're not allowed to drink. So you're doing comedy for sober people that are drinking water and eating pretzels.
I've done that show.
Okay, and sodas. You have so many different variables of comics. You have to watch them all live. See, this age of shit now, we got lazy. We got really lazy. In fact, we got so lazy that something that benefited me, I get mad about. I get mad that my wife will call me and say, hey, honey, what are you doing tonight? Nothing. My friend gave us a reservation for 2 at a steakhouse, and there's a comedy club 2 doors down. We've never done that. Really? Do you know who the comedian is? Well, I just looked him up. I'm going to send you the link to his stand-up. And, right away I go in there pre-judgmental. That's why I always at the Comedy Store. You don't know who the fuck you're going to see. But to get back to your question, Lee, energy, you got to watch stand-up live. Watch it once a week. But don't show up at the club like, hi, pay the fucking $20.
Oh, of course.
You want them to go, why'd you pay? Nah, bro. I'm here to watch the comedy. In fact, I'm going to sit in the back with a pina colada. You won't even know I'm here. And you watch all 3 comics. You're going to see the MC bomb. He's going to get clunky with the announcements, which suck. But they also teach you a different muscle, which you won't see till years later. You're going to see a great feature act, but he doesn't really have 45 minutes. But what he has is very controlled. And then you're going to see a headline of that. You're either going to like him or not, but you're going to go home and write the things you hated and the one thing you liked. And now you're going to find what people see that you don't like him. You may not think he's funny because you watched him on a fucking Netflix special. You didn't catch him Monday night when you went to New York City at the Comedy Cellar at 11:30. That's why when you told me you were going to the cellar, I always bust people's balls. I didn't bust your balls that night. I wanted you to go there and watch.
Right.
You said hello. Right?
Yeah. That was a great night. Because you're right. Like there's a lot of places, but yeah, that would be one of the dreams of a place to go and to see different levels and to see because I'm not good at like energy yet, I guess. But what I do find interesting is like the different levels of laughter between like that you would get versus like my best set. Like just like the levels of laughter like the level comedian can give is like something like it was just crazy to see what a comic can do with like that level of an audience. Like just that amount of people can make the sound they can make come out of them. It's pretty cool.
It's an art. And I'm happy we do this because I may not be getting on stage, but the last couple of years has given me a chance to reflect. You know, my next book is going to be about stand-up, obviously. About, you know, the questions a comic wants to know at the 3rd-year mark, at the 5-year mark. No pressure. You don't have to be anywhere. This will be something that's going to be for novices, for hobbyists. You know, I encourage more hobbyists in comedy.
Yeah.
There were a lot more hobbyists. To be honest with you, these guys were fucking funny. They had good lives. They made good money. They were college educated. They had a wife, but instead of playing darts or playing golf or, you know, playing fantasy football, their time out was doing comedy. And they would come out like on a Wednesday night to some bar to pick up $100, and then you would see them on a Sunday at a comedy club. And I appreciated those guys because there was no bullshit from them. At the end of the night, they're going home. They're going home and they're going to do what you do every fucking day. Those guys are better comedians sometimes because they're so more in touch with what's really going on, you know, how people that get up at 8 in the morning fucking feel at 9:30 at night.
Absolutely.
We stay out till 2. We get up at 9. We go to fucking deliver whatever, Uber Eats. Till 1, we smoke some pot with the Indian kid, and then you're fucking, you know, writing jokes and then going to fucking get back on stage. I mean, but it's just so weird. I love the hobbyist. So I want to encourage more hobbyists because I think doing stand-up fucking helps you in every field. I know the first time I did stand-up how I felt. I didn't feel like I was going to be a Hollywood star. I didn't feel like I was going to be Charles Bronson. I didn't feel anything. I felt that a different part of my mind that opened up. It really did. I think
Like
back.
what? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. What was your question?
I was just like, oh, to be honest, I forgot.
No, it's very interesting. You know, I forgot too. You threw me to the fucking wolves, Lee. The edibles are finally. I got to be honest with you. I ate those edibles. I ate 5 of them, and I fucking got sick for a minute there. I had to sit down. That's why I drank this fucking mukiak juice, this fucking prime, because I just ran and got something. I sat down. I watched fucking Houston strike out with 3 men on, with bases loaded, and I didn't feel good. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to cancel this. I got THC intoxication. I poisoned myself. But then I did a couple bong hits, and I'm back like herpes. You know what I'm saying? That was all a figment of my imagination, Jackson.
When's the last time you puked from edibles?
When I puked on that one street driving home. We still lived on Compton.
Oh, it's been that long?
Yeah. I was still in my amateur mode of edibles. I was just eating them till I fucking got sick.
Dude, those two, I passed out on one of those 200s. Did I tell you that? Like the next day, the ABXs.
When was this?
Maybe a year ago, something like that. I took a 200.
You woke up? You woke up, took a piss, and passed out?
Yeah. Fucking.
That's exactly what happened?
Yeah, exactly. As I was taking a piss, like the next day, I woke up and it never happened before, and I just went right down.
That's what happens. That's the power of ABX, Jack. You know, when you
Jesus
were talking about something about like how edibles used to come.
Uh-huh.
Like it gave me a memory of me, John, and Ralphie going to a Dodger game one day. It was fucking 90 degrees. Ralphie got these sensational tickets, but little did he know We were in the sun, Jack.
Oh no.
And I mean fucking bacon in the sun. And before Ralphie picks me up, there was a weed shop next to Duke's, the breakfast joint,
Right.
and one music place on the corner there, the real whiskey a go-go, I think. It's whiskey, another music venue, then it's Duke's, another building, then there was a weed store. And that weed store had a refrigerator. This is way before I met you, Lee. When you walked in there, they had a refrigerator the size of like a fucking Schnapple refrigerator, the pizza joint.
Right.
And it was filled with fucking cakes and brownies and, apple turnovers and fucking, and nobody knew. Nobody went in there and go, hi, excuse me, what's the milligram on those? Fuck no. Either you bought the cake or you didn't. And there was sometimes when you ate a piece of cake, it didn't get you high. So you ate another piece of cake and you were fucking done. Like I still remember them carrying Silent Bob, Felipe's friend, out of the boxing gym, and his feet were dragging because we didn't know the strength of edibles back then. This has to be 2008, 2009. We were just eating shit. We were just eating
Jesus.
shit, Lee. And wherever the pieces fell, they fucking fell. But we went to that fucking Dodger game with a bag. They let Ralphie walk in with the fucking bag
They like bring food in.
of chocolate cakes and fucking, So we're burning under the sun and this shit's starting to melt. This
Oh
shit's boiling,
no.
110 degrees. So I'll never forget, we're fucking eating cakes, puddings. They had everything. Fucking chocolate brownies with coconut on it. God knows, Lee, how much sugar me and those fucking guys ate that day. And then we couldn't take the sun no more. So we got out of there and we walked to the car. Forget it. 3 sheets to the fucking wind.
Holy shit. And you have no idea.
And barfing that night.
Ooh.
But I didn't barf from the fucking reefer. I barfed from all the fucking sugar.
Oh, you think so?
It's like when you get sick from alcohol. Think about what you drank the night before. If you were drinking Tahiti fucking Reds with Hawaiian Punch, you're going down, bitch. You know how much sugar is in that fucking Hawaiian Punch? It's not the alcohol that kills you. It's the fucking sugar. You're drinking rum and cokes all fucking night, like Fidel Castro. What think's gonna happen? You're gonna wake up feeling tip top magoo. Not even liquid IV could save you then. You got to do like a real IV, and they got to rub your feet. That's too much fucking sugar.
That's crazy. Do you know? That's why I drank Diet Coke and Maker's Mark, because one time I went to one of those cheap. I didn't know it was cheap, but I went to like a open bar thing in Vegas to watch like one of the Cormier John Jones fights, and I was drinking regular Coke and Maker's Mark, and they of course water the drinks down. So like I felt sick from all the sugar. I've never had figured that out before.
I used to go to this joint in Miami across from Improv in Coconut Grove. Fucking tremendously. There were frosted drinks,
Mm-hmm.
like smoothies, but they had one that was 140 proof. And it
Damn.
was red. There was a red one that I drank and a brown one looking one. It was 140 fucking proof. It was red. You know how many times I woke up and the sink was red and I was ready to call 911 because I thought I was bleeding internally? But when you wake up, you have a headache for 2 days. And it's
Right.
not for the fucking 140 because I was burning it off with cocaine. This is the fucking the sugar. It was the sugar from those smoothie drinks and shit. So you live and you fucking learn. But that's why, getting to the original point, that's why I like ABX edibles. At the end of the day, I'm not eating 3,000 calories. They allow me to eat 3,000 calories later. But if I got to ingest 3,000 calories to get high, I don't want to be a part of that organization.
Right. Absolutely. ABX are the best.
I'm telling you, this is why when people come to me, I go, listen, this is why Tom talk about it. I've killed people with those things.
Oh yeah.
Except for you. You're my brother. You know I love you. I never killed you with those things. But
No,
anyway,
never. I definitely didn't have a hotel 5 minutes down the road, but ended up sleeping at your house.
who cares? It happens. You were tired. Sometimes I don't want to drive either.
I
You know, I'm
love
a
it.
lot happier this week.
Oh, good.
Well, they fucking said I got the fucking whatever the fuck in my lung. So they put me on the antibiotics and some other shit to clean me out. It's a 2-week treatment with the antibiotics. So I feel better. But I tell you what I did, Lee. For those 8 weeks, I was getting, for like 6 weeks, I was getting these palpitations. My backs were hurting. I just had so many it was just mental shit. So I continued working out and walking and hitting the bag, but I stopped going to jujitsu because you got to walk upstairs to get there. And then when you're there, like I have a hard time as it is. I was like, I don't want to have a heart attack, and I'm a fat fuck, and they got to carry me down those stairs because you can have 20 jujitsu guys, then they're gonna pick me up and hold me down those stairs. At some point, they're just gonna drop me, and I'm gonna roll down the stairs like a fat fuck with a jujitsu gi on. I need that on TMZ. So I was
How
like,
often
fuck,
do you think this is gonna happen?
because man, I know how hard I work in that class and how I feel when I leave there. And I know that sometimes I do shit in there that I have to get up and take a walk and pee because I go there to, stay healthy. There's a bunch of young guys there. I still keep the mentality. At my age, jujitsu is completely different. You're not looking to fucking submit. You're just looking to stay alive, roll around, but you have to do it perfectly. Because if I go in on a Monday, like yesterday, and I become King Kong, then I'm not going to make it on Wednesday. So on Mondays, I just drill now. And I took one of the younger guys and we did some situational stuff. I was there. I took my little whoop watch, went up to fucking 10. So I'm happy. That gives me the rest of the week. I got an option to lift today or to go back to class. And at least I lived another day. So the next time I go to class, I'll focus on drilling and I'll roll a little more. And then Friday, I'll roll because I got the weekend to recover. So it becomes something else. I got to fucking go to red light therapy and sweat my balls off. The other day, I looked down and under my nutsack, there was a little puddle, like a little inch, like this puddle. And
An inch?
it was direct sweat from my nut juice. I think there
Oh.
must have been like a coating of fat around my nuts. And the fucking red light therapy just burned it off. I looked down. I was tempted to pick it up and sniff it like Ozzy in
Oh.
the Motley Crue movie, but I was like, let's leave bygones be bygones. I
I
sweat
was
so
gonna
much that motherfucker. I do yoga in there. I breathe. I stretch. I sit for the first. It's 34 minutes at 151 or something, right?
really?
Yeah. I
And
fuck.
is it something you lay in? How does it work? How do you do yoga in it? Or is it a room?
It's a fucking private little steam bath. And it's
Okay.
not really a steam bath, it's red light therapy, but you're in there so long that you fucking start sweating your balls off. So when I first off, let's get the party started, right? I go in there early. Sometimes I go late, but I'll try to go in there like when I say early, it opens at 9. I'll get there like 10:30, 10:15, because I do 34 minutes and it lets me to come home, take a shower, put my gi on, and go to jujitsu. It opens up your breathing. But before I do anything, I fucking go in that backyard and I do like fucking 8 bongs, ba 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 boom, right off the bat, like a soldier, right? Let me tell you a quick story. So yesterday I'm in the backyard. It's like 5 in the afternoon, and I'm just blasting fucking bongs. The big freeze pipe, the good freeze pipe I show you. In fact, I gotta rotate it. My lungs are getting used to that one. I gotta use a different design to blow them back into limbo. So I'm out there and I'm doing these bong hits, but I notice, fuck, when I blow the smoke out, the wind is taking it and it's really spreading out.
Right.
And I must have done like 3 of those hits in a row where you're killing the same fucking chamber. And it was one big cloud of smoke. And there's some dude walking his dog like a like a 66-year-old dude walking his dog. And he's walking like, he's thinking about Lawrence Welk music. He's thinking about, 1950 when he was, and all of a sudden he saw the cloud of smoke, Lee, and he held on to his dog, right? And then he looked around and he saw me in the yard under the fucking thing where you can see out, but you can't see in. And I'm out there doing bong hits, and he's looking. He's looking at something black, and he's seeing smoke come out.
Wait, are you blowing some more smoke at him while he's still there? Oh my god!
I'm trying to scare this guy to call
I
like
think you-
911. And I swear to God, he looked like twice, and then he walked by. And as he was walking by, I popped up like a dude, and I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And he just fucking ran by. All right. So Thursday night, I did something that my friends call me. You know what I'm saying? They want to do stuff, but I got to put the pieces together because Thursday night is movie night at my house. Like this Thursday, we're going to see the De Niro whatever movie. And it's me, my daughter, and my wife. We're going to sit there for 3 fucking hours. So after tonight, I won't eat no edibles after tonight.
To prepare?
Huh?
To prepare?
Yeah. 3 hours in the movie theater. You either need a couple edibles or a left hook. That's a long time. Your hemorrhoid gets to develop in that motherfucker. So last Thursday night, I planned, there was no movie to go see. I'm not going to see no fucking Taylor Swift movie. My daughter don't want to see it. You know, my wife don't want to see it. So we got saved from going to the movies. So last week I planned with a couple of my old school buddies, Sharps, Conti, and my friend DeFuso to meet at my other buddies. He's a manager at this restaurant in Hackensack called Forte's. Lee, fucking delicious.
Oh,
And I
yeah?
went old school in there. They had a lot of dishes that I wanted to try, but I only eat, I had a cup and a half of pasta fazool with some Italian bread, and then I had a piece of lasagna that was so good, but yet again so fucking rich, fucking delicious. And I think the owner said to me, very nice people, the owners, because my buddy's the general manager, whatever the fuck he does in there. My buddy's doing a great job. The restaurant is fucking beautiful. But for some reason, as I was walking in, I put the whistle in my pocket. I walk into the bar. I say hello. My buddy goes, "Hey, stupid." I turn around. I haven't seen him since I moved here. I give him a big hug. We grew up together. And as we're talking, another friend of mine comes in. I hug him. Let's get a table. And also my other buddy walks in. So the 4 of us are there. We were waiting on one of the guys, Sabatino, the kid who cried during when I had the porno when I was 13 and he was like 10. That guy, he's back in my life and I love it. He's crazier than ever. So
he's back in your life.
Yeah, he just popped back up after like a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? Things happen. Anyway, yeah. Anyway.
So you brought the whistle?
I brought the whistle. We're sitting there, and the owner, a sweetheart of a guy, and my friend, the manager, are eating dinner with us. And cracking jokes at the table, we're laughing. Now, my friends know I got a whistle, but the owner and my buddy don't know I have a whistle. And I hit the whistle twice. They both got up at the same time and ran because they thought the fire alarm had gone off. So me and my buddies are howling. And I'm like, don't say nothing. They sit down again. I hit them with another whistle. Like 8 minutes later, they're both like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is going on? I'm
You're terrorizing New Jersey. You're terrorizing New Jersey. Yeah, you see it? Like, who brings a whistle and your buddy works there? That's so fucking. Oh my god.
Look, I'm 60. I'm half retarded. And I gotta kill time. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to, I'm just trying to have a good time and keep it together. That's it.
That's a good birthday card.
And if it's a whistle, fuck it, so be it. What do you want me to drive around with a fucking BB gun and shoot people at the bus stop?
No, I'm really happy you're not doing that. I didn't know you had to bring a whistle around though.
Listen, when you bring a whistle around in these times, it keeps people in check, especially that whistle. It's fucking tremendous. Sometimes I do it, my daughter jumps up in the car. She don't even see me. But anyway, Lee, I gotta drop this on you.
What's up?
So me and my 3 buddies sit down, 4 buddies, we're talking, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden, my buddy says to me, "Hey, behind you is your old buddy, Mike Bertoli. Fucking, I know Mike since I'm a kid. Great guy. Turn around, he's with his mom. She's like 100. She still looks good though. And Mike looks at me and I go, and he gets up. He gives me a hug. Good to see you. All this shit. Last time I saw him at a wake when I came back here. And I'm hugging him. And I'm looking at this dude. And he's looking at me, pointing at me, Lee. So I'm like, oh no. I got to deal with this fucking guy. He's going to want a picture. I'm just about to sit down and eat and order. I looked a little closer at him and I'm like, holy fuck. That's my old CYO coach from the 8th grade.
Basketball?
Yep. His name was Steve Rubinaccio. He was my coach at St. Michael's. The assistant coach was Steve Acciardi.
Holy shit.
And dog, we held each other. I cried because I knew Rube when my mother was alive. Like I knew Rube, and I used to always break his balls. I would always, I was playing for him, I'd always go, because he was a cameraman. He was a young kid.
I was going to say.
If I was fucking 13, he had to be 19, 20.
Oh, shit. Okay.
21, and he was already a cameraman on Good Morning America.
Oh, that's cool.
Every time I would see him, I go, Doug, when are you going to get me on Good Morning America? I just wanted a job in that industry. I didn't know where to start. I go, let me go in there and carry shit for you. And he would laugh. And I'll never forget when I got sober, partly in 85, I actually called him. Like I hadn't seen him since like 80, which I'll get back to. And I called him in 85 and I'm like, hey, Rube, what's the story with that job? He's like, are you going to fucking stop with this shit? I can't just get you a job. Because I knew people who were stage handlers over there. And I knew that I didn't know if there were big shots over there. I wasn't sure. But anyway, to make a long story short, he told me, he goes, you didn't get on Good Morning. I didn't get you on Good Morning America, but you got on the stage anyway on your own. So I'm proud of you. And then we sat. He had his wife with him and another couple, so I didn't want to bother him. And then at one point he walked over and he goes, you know, I was just thinking about the time you and that other North Bergen guy robbed all the fucking boosters. Do you remember that? And I go, yes, I do. We must have taken 800 stickers. In those days, we called them boosters. They were fucking stickers. You stuck them on your window that said, I support St. Michael CYO or Johnny Banana's Temple, whatever the fuck it was.
And you sold them?
I sold like 200 at my mother's bar. And then he shut it down the following Monday at practice. He's like, I'm going to close the door and make believe. I don't know who did it. Tonight, by the time we leave here for practice, I want the fucking all the stickers back. So me and the other dudes put them back. If we took 800, there was probably 600 in there. They took the loss, but nobody went to jail.
That's crazy that he remembered you from 8th grade.
And there was a quiet dude there that used to be a little chubbier. He didn't start, but when he played fucking tough. And I'll never forget one night we were stoned practicing in there on a Monday night because we used to always practice on a Monday night. But after we got together, after we started knowing each other, we knew that some of us got high. And we'd vow to get high and then put Visine in our eyes and your mother's cologne. And we go to practice and giggle as fuck. And one night, we were high as fuck, me, Louie, Whitey, and somebody's going to take the ball out to throw, like somebody's going to take the ball out, like to bounce pass to somebody.
Right.
And this kid that was a big, chubbier kid went to steal the ball. So my buddy picked up the ball like he was going to throw it, and homie jumped up, but at the same time, his mouth was open, right? And my other buddy goes, look at him. He thinks it's a meatball. And we busted out on the floor, and I'm sure he was embarrassed. Well, I hope I don't bump into that dude today. That dude was Frankie Winters. That dude played with fucking Brett Favre. He fucking was his center over there all those years. That guy was an all-star forever, a Pro Bowler.
Holy
That
shit.
to become somebody. And that's what he said. He goes, I can't believe out of all the years I coached, I ended up with a fucking center and a fucking comedian. I don't even know why I
That
told you that. Who gives a
it's a
fuck?
cool it's cool to see, like, I mean, like, how many years has it been since your mom passed?
40 something.
And,
I
like,
haven't
you the
seen
mo
him since I haven't seen him. Then he told the story. He goes, the last time I saw you, he goes, when I heard from you, he goes, I heard from you years later. But he goes, I must have saw you. He was trying to give me the date. I couldn't figure it out that night, but I know the last time he saw me. And he goes, you were sweating. You didn't look good. And all I could see was your eyes were pitch black. You were up to no good. So,
it's just cool. It must feel nice to, like, have him see, like, how well you've done and just, like, to remember being in 8th grade. Like, 'cause that wasn't that like, the last year you did basketball? Like, I think? Like, you tried in
oh,
freshman year, but
come
you
on.
didn't make it?
I went down there. I had to go down there for something. I had to go into the middle of Union City. And I purposely went that way to look at where Holy Rosary Academy was for girls, Bergen Line. Then you crossed over and it was St. Michael's. There was a girl I used to date that her parents owned the house there right across the street from the church. And I remember that when I went, this is maybe, I got here in August and I went up there maybe in February. And I went down that street and I was heartbroken. All that shit was gone, except the pizza place that we went to around the corner was still there. I mean, it wasn't owned by Enzo or whatever the name is anymore,
Right.
but it was amazing how the whole now it's Obama High School. They got that, they got Emerson, they got the two high schools and turned them into one. So whatever. It's a different fucking place right now. You know what I'm saying?
That's
What
crazy.
what are your plans for the week? What shows do you have? Talk to
This
me.
week I have 2 cool things. The next 2 Wednesdays I have shows, one in Wilbraham in a barn, which I think it's like a local thing. It's been, fucking awesome. And next Wednesday I'm at Off the Rails in Worcester, but then I'm seeing, uh, Dave Chappelle this week. I'm
That's
excited to
what I'm
see
saying.
him. I'm seeing him.
And he has a
I'm
lot of
actually
comics with him.
I'm excited to see all of his openers. I've heard he go
He's gonna have Lunel, Donnell.
Oh, Lunel's gonna be there too?
Hopefully, she's been going on this tour
Oh,
with,
shit, that'd be cool.
and that's gonna
Oh,
be tremendous because Dave is very low key.
right.
Dave's genius, even since '94. The first time I saw him well, not the first time, but the first time I saw him like in a comedy club was at the Boston Comedy Club. It was a Monday night open mic that they weren't gonna put me on, Jack. I just went as like I told you, a spectator. And I remembered that what impressed me most about Dave then, and now he's the chief of, is his patience on stage. Even though he's dying to tell you the joke, he knows he has to be patient. And that is lethal. That is a great attitude to have. That you're so confident in your material that you're going to slow the pace down and watch before you hit, like Israel. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just sitting there right now with the tanks. I don't know. It's going to get ugly, but it's the same thing. That's a gift, stand-up comedy. Because stand-up comedy is really an act. Okay? It's a person that you fucking become. Okay? It's somebody that you become. It's somebody who you want. I mean, that's how I looked at it. This is
Okay.
not me every day. People contact me, or they contact me for podcast stuff, but it's an act. For me, I made it real. I incorporated my life in there,
Right.
which is difficult sometimes, but I still had to push through it because I know that was where the comedy was. That was where the real comedy was. That's where I touched you. I see podcasts now, even ours. Listen, we're just doing a check-in here. I'm not looking to fucking nothing here. I enjoy doing this with you anyway, I get to see you. I get to make sure you're not eating hummus. I get to see what's going on with you, and we get to talk. But even podcasts have kind of become like we're just talking here. When I did anything I did, whether it was stand up, the storytelling, the church, or whatever, I always tried to slow you down. I wanted you to find the comedy and the pain. You know what I'm saying? Did I know I was doing it at the time? Not really, but I felt something different from when I was doing comedy before and going up there and doing a Rodney Dangerfield impression.
Because you were talking earlier in the podcast about like that night that you came back and you were angry, and you used to tell a joke like you like to get people to piss you off before you went on stage. Like, is
Absolutely.
that
Absolutely. Absolutely. I said, you got to do something to light a fire under you, to get your message out, right? That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to let people know you're a funny motherfucker, right? So when is, when I'm going off with you, you and I both know it, that while I'm going off, I'm fucking laughing at myself for going off, for acting how I'm doing it.
are you really? I didn't know that.
Oh my God. I got into a situation about 10 days ago that I went old school Joey Diaz. I
Oh
regret it.
no.
I feel very bad. But when I got in the car, as mad as I was, I giggled about the things that I said. They were not rehearsed. They were not written. Nothing. It was pure gold. I said like 3 things that even I said, "Oh my God, where did I come up with that?" And people have no idea. If you go to the Judy Carter workbook, it says exercises to do. And there's a whole thing in there about write about what you hate. And I remember
Interesting.
when I first got that book, when I first got into comedy, even when I used to read it, I would do all the other exercises and it took me like 4 or 5 years. I was Johnny Know-It-All, like every other comic. Seinfeld was popular at the time, so we were all trying to be a little Seinfeldish. I've said to you that I had a suit on at first. I was trying to be Seinfeld and Lenny Clark with a little fucking flair. But the section I liked the most of the Judy Carter book was she goes, write 5 things that fucking anger you. And at the time, when I started doing the exercise, obviously I'm going through a fucking custody battle. So that I would look at it the next day and go, I can't go up there. At that time, I couldn't go up there and talk about a custody battle. I was not prepared.
Do you
I
think
was
you could
not
now?
prepared as a comedian.
Because I was
You
just
know,
gonna ask you, like, how do you? My only concern with that would be like being too negative. Because like sometimes when I'm angry about something, it comes off as angry and like not funny.
well, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. The great Doug Stanhope. When I say the great Doug Stanhope, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. The great Doug Stanhope once told me that the reason why comedy is good is because no matter what happens, you could go up there and talk about it. Whether it's your mother getting hit by a car or whether it's your daughter graduating the 8th grade. You have to find the humor in those realms. And that's why he's a great fucking comic. A lot of people are going to listen to this and go, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Joey. Think about it. This is why every day you have material. This is why every day, if there's an open mic, you should be down there. I don't want you to get on stage and talk about the Jewish and the Hamas. That's not comedy. That's what we're listening to when we turn on every fucking channel. I want you to talk about how this affects you. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? If there's a war in the Middle East, you know we're going to have a problem getting hummus in this motherfucker. These people are going to have to be going back to onion dip. Whatever. I don't know. I don't
Right.
fucking know. But that's what's great about comedy. You can talk about the good stuff and you can talk about the fucking bad stuff. But I want you to talk about what gets you angry. So here I was doing knock-knock jokes in a San Francisco stage. Honest, I'm doing comedy at this time, I don't know. Let's clock it at 15 fucking years, which is about right. And I'm going on stage talking about stuff that's kind of funny. I'm a feature act. I'm at the store. I'm good enough to be at the store, but something was missing. And before I go on stage, I look at Brian Redban and Rogan and Eddie and whatever. And if there were 6 of them, 4 of them have the same phone. And for some reason, that would piss me off to no end. I don't know. I'm old school Cuban guy. This had to be 15 fucking years ago. You want to judge me for this? I just didn't like it. It wasn't in my realm that 4 dudes had the same phones and they put it each other and look at their phones. It drove me up a fucking wall. Do you understand me?
No.
I would go up there and I would look at the phones, and I realized that when I would look at the phones, I'd kill that night. When I had that pre-thought of the phones, like 2 minutes before I went on stage, the guy would come up and go, Joey, we're going to give him the light now. And as I was getting up, getting ready, you know, going, and they go knock him dead and shit. I'm looking at the phone. Like the first 2 nights, I did great because I got mad at the phones. You know what night I fucking destroyed that audience? And you know that I ate dick at that place. I was there. If I was there 10 years at 5 shows, if I did 60 shows there, I can honestly look everybody in the face here and tell you I ate 45 bags of dick.
No.
San Francisco, straight up. Straight up. I've been bombing at Cobb's since day one. I've been bombing at Cobb's. You understand me? They just didn't dig me, and then I made them dig me. I learned how to fucking, so now when Rogan had shows up there, they'd add shows, I'd fucking come out attacking. I failed sometimes, but I experimented. But the night I literally destroyed them was the night I actually looked at those guys, and I'm like, what are you, a bunch of fucking fags? The fuck is wrong with you fucking guys with matching fucking phones? It's 2009. You motherfuckers got matching phones around me. There was an incident with a computer one night that they didn't want to close, and I broke it. All nights I had the best sets of my life.
I just want to clarify something. Were you just sitting in the green room and it was like silent, or they were just talking about jujitsu or something, and you just started going off about phones?
What's that?
And they, like, you just randomly out of nowhere brought up the phones and started going from like 0 to 100.
They're doing jumping jacks. They're talking about minerals, whatever the fuck they're talking about. And I'm sitting there like, I got to go up in 8 minutes. And these motherfuckers are talking about minerals and the things on their phones that their phones do. And then they put their phones down, and just looking at those 4 phones, I would have fucking deep, deep anger. Like I would just think about, I don't know why. It just burnt me the fuck up that they had 4 matching phones. In fact, that was one of the things I told Eddie Bravo when I told him Rogan was in the CIA. That fucking, remember when they had the matching phones? He's like, yeah, you're right. The lung feels great, cocksucker. But yeah, I discovered that the night I actually, now, there was a bunch of guys that could turn me into a pretzel in that. They were laughing their fucking asses off. They were laughing their fucking ass. I'm calling them fags. Look at you. What's next? Pink shoes? You know, what the fuck? And they're dying of laughter because they knew where it was coming from. And then one day somebody actually got mad at me. And when I got on stage, Joe explained to them, it's all an act. It's all an act. He's going to come back in that door and he's not even going to mention, he's going to give you a hug and tell you he's sorry that he was fucking with you because he wanted to get fired up because he was going on stage. I will start anything with you just to get hot to go on stage. At that time, and I still need it. I don't want nobody in there, but I do because they're going to irritate me. They're either going to bring hummus in there or olives, or they're going to bring their grandmother in there and I can't smoke dope. There's always something that has to irritate me, even though on any other day, I would giggle at it because I got to get the Spanish blood boiling to dig into. I want the people to hear what I'm really fucking talking about. Not the knock jokes I was writing.
Right. That's
You know,
great.
look,
Like
we got all fired up. Now I got to get out of here and do like 10 more bong hits. How long we been on here? I think it's time, cocksucker.
yeah,
Yeah. Hey, listen, man. They are what they are. We're just having a good time here. We ain't making you no promises. We ain't telling you no lies. Tell them, Lee. Drop
that's
some
it.
knowledge on these bitches. Where you at tonight?
Tonight I'm fucking staying here. I took a lot of those.
No, where you at this week?
Oh, this week like I said, I'm in Wilbraham. I'm sorry I don't know more. It's a barn. You know what I'm talking about if you live there. It's a cool, it's like a really cool place. And then next week, Wednesday the 25th, I'm off the rails in Worcester, 8 o'clock.
Between you and I, this barn. You want
Yes.
to make a little money with Jewish lightning? You want to make a statement? What are you doing?
I don't think you can after you talk about it on a podcast.
It's a barn. All you gotta do is fart on the fucking hay, and that place is going up.
Oh, it doesn't have hay. It's a nice place.
Oh, it's a nice place. All right.
Yeah, thank God. I'm done doing shows in places with hay.
Like I said, it's always very nice to talk to you during the weekend. You know, like I said, I'm not a full-time comic no more, but I'll always be a fucking comic. And I like doing this with you. I like
It's a
talking
lot
to
of
you
fun.
the week when you hit me, you know, what should I do? Should I send them an email? No, send them a fucking joint. Send them a picture of a fucking 21-year-old with bottle rockets in a fucking asshole. That he might, I don't know when they're gonna call you back, Lee.
Right.
You know what? If you don't submit that email, you're not creating anything because sometimes you might send me an email for some shit because, you know, somebody told you if you work for the clubs, and all of a sudden you might not hear from me, but you might hear from somebody else with the better offer. And you're gonna go, how the fuck did you hear about me? He goes, the guy you sent the email to, Joey Diaz, he sent his package to me. And you're gonna so always send the package, always make the call. Let them tell you fucking no. Always be the aggressor because in stand-up comedy, the first 5 years, if you're not the aggressor, I don't want you standing outside their house. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you standing outside the house telling them you want to rub their feet and paint their fucking house. Not at all. I just want you to tell them, introduce yourself, send them the package. Don't send them a bottle of wine. Don't be a suck ass. Yes, if Lee tells you to call him, drop Lee's name. If I tell you, Lee, call him, drop his name. He told me to tell you to drop his name, and he'll know who you are. If not, you take your chances. Your goal every week is to get on stage at this level. But your goal also is to make a notebook and write all the people you call. And you got to make at least 5 calls a day. That's 25 calls a week from Monday to Friday. Some people are going to hang up on you. You're going to get a lot of voice message. You're going to get a lot of, you know, your call has been redirected to a voicemail that has not been set up yet or whatever other excuse. But just that energy of you calling, that creates something. Trust me, I was the king of that motherfucker. I'm telling you this from experience.
Because that's like, I think it would be like a great thing to talk about in your book is like, I never want to bother anybody. So like if you're making 25 calls a week, you're only calling one person one time a week, right? Like you're not calling someone every day.
Listen, man, you're looking for work. You're always looking to meet new people, rekindling old ideas, and trying to get work from people you've worked for before. You have to balance that. I'm exaggerating at first because I want you to think that way, that every day you got to make a call, Jack. every day. Every day, some guy's gonna go. You're gonna go do an open mic tomorrow night, correct?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
When you get off stage, some guy's gonna come up to you and go, "Hey man, you ever playing fucking whatever?" No, give this guy a call. I'll call him tonight and tell him you're fucking great. You just did 20 minutes and you crushed here. He'd love to have you. It's 200 a hotel, and they give you a fucking Red Lobster dinner. What do you know? You're not looking to conquer the world. You're just looking. So you never know what move you're making. But again, nothing happens on the fucking couch. So I'd rather go. That's why I said to you, even if that one night, I want you to go watch comedy. Go in as a civilian. You're not looking for a guest set. You're not looking for nothing. You want to sit in the back like I did. The privilege I did that I had that not a lot of other comics had, that once I finished with my set early on, I went to the comedy store, smoked dope, and sat in the back. And I'd watch 4 or 5 comics in a row while I drank a water and a big fucking Coke. Yeah, I snorted Coke later after my
Right.
set, because I used to go up at 1 a.m. then. But my real pleasure down there, and the real reason why I learned, was because I'd sit there, average of 4 nights a week for an hour, and I made myself watch live comedy, so you could see everything. And I like what you do. From time to time, you go see a band.
Every once in a while, I try to definitely do like a bunch of stuff. I always watch whenever I'm lucky enough to like open for somebody. I always stay in the room and watch their set.
All right, well,
It's
listen,
all
you keep doing what you're doing. You call me during the week. I got shit to do and people to see, all right? My
love you,
phone
buddy.
going out the wall here. I love you. Have a good week, and we'll talk in like fucking 2 hours.
Love you, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
I love you guys. All right, stay black. And now for a word from our sponsors, beautiful.
It's over. They didn't put you on this planet just to give up. If Uncle Joey could do it, I can rule the world. That's what you gotta be thinking.
Welcome back to Check.
The check-in is brought to you by, come on, Manscaped. Listen, they've leveled up, and so should you. They launched the 5th generation performance package, including the all-new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. Listen, I've already got mine plugged in. I haven't done the honors yet. But the 5.0 features 2 interchangeable blade heads with 3 length-setting combs, waterproofing. You get any look anywhere. You can design stuff. It's all over. That's it. You can have a party in that shower. It's waterproof. Now, the performance package 5.0 also features the new Weed Whacker 2.0 ear and nose hair trimmer and the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, which is fucking voila. You know what I'm saying? It's tremendous in the summer. You'll be rocking worlds in the winter. The Crop Soother toner and 2 free mystery gifts. So do me a favor. Uncle Joey's giving you 20% off and free shipping with code Joey, Joey, at manscaped.com. Again, that's 20% off and free shipping with code Joey at manscaped.com. Your balls have been through enough. Trust me, I looked at mine the other day. What a nightmare. You thought Vietnam looked bad. It's time to go ultra with Manscaped. Support the show and get 20% off and free shipping when you use code Joey. And now that you're all trimmed up and ready to go, Uncle Joey's going to drop it on you with Blue Chew. Listen, you never know when you're going to meet that special someone. If you want to make sure you have all the confidence in bed at the drop of a hat, then you need Blue Chew. Listen, it's the season to be jolly. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers ED medicine straight to your door with the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, all that stuff, but at a fraction of the cost, and you save money while having an awesome sex life. And like they said, they deliver right to your door. You don't need to be creeping while they're sleeping. You can take Blue Chew at any time of the day and night. No matter when you need that extra boost, Blue Chew has you covered. Listen, I'm an old guy. From time to time, I get urges. I have desires. I pop a Blue Chew. It's all over but the shopping. Blue Chew, excuse me, Blue Chew is done entirely online, so you get to skip the doctor's offices, the awkward conversations, and waiting at the pharmacy. It's even shipped in a totally discreet package, so you can stock up without worrying about the nosy neighbors or the mailman. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Blue Chew wants to help you have a party, a real party for the holidays. You know what I'm talking about? Discover your options at bluechew.com. Chew it and then do it, Jack. We got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew for free. Joey, why you busting my chops on a Tuesday? Free, cocksuckers. Just pay $5 shipping. That's bluechew.com, promo code Joey to receive your first month free. Visit bluechew.com for more details.